I've said it before and I'll say it again. 2025 will be a good year for VR. There's lots of games currently in development and it appears VR is actually growing, and there's some proof of this later on in this video. But starting the charge with some new VR games, we have Sid Meier's Civilization 7 coming to VR, or more specifically MetaQuest 3 and MetaQuest 3S, which made some fanboys very unhappy. And sure, exclusives are extremely annoying, but they do drive sales, and it's only an issue if you don't have the hardware to play them yourself. Much like the old Sonic and Mario, Sega vs Nintendo days, which were absolutely full of hate for one another. But either way, you have to admit, the game coming to VR is a good thing, and this trailer is absolutely brilliant. It's a virtual reality and mixed reality turn-based strategy game. Now these games are all about building a civilization on a macro scale, from prehistory and up to the near future. There's also something called the Archives, which gives players a space to celebrate their in-game achievements in detailed dioramas. It will feature single player and online multiplayer for up to 3 players. Now, I've never played a Civilization game, but when I saw this trailer, I did get massively hyped, and I'm really looking forward to playing it. And we don't even have to wait that long either. It's said to be coming this spring, and you can wishlist it right now using the link in the video description. Hellsplit Arena is coming to Quest this month, and before I get ahead of myself, it's also coming to PSVR 2, but it seems the Quest version has suddenly taken priority, because Hellsplit is dropping this month, along with the new campaign mode called Labyrinth and a new sandbox mode and better enemies. It will also include all the previous and upcoming content too. As someone who has been playing this game for years now, I'm super happy this is happening, and I would suspect the PSVR 2 version will hopefully drop this summer. Now, if there's something VR can do really well, it's making players feel claustrophobic, and that's exactly why I want to play this upcoming game called Crave Cave. Step into the underground world of caves in the most realistic Splunking VR game, where the entire environment is your map. You must beat environmental challenges, narrow tunnels, and water-filled crevices. You can mark your own clues on cave walls with chalk, and you must clear your path of obstacles using a hammer. You can also climb walls and ceilings using ice axes, and you need to maintain your gear to ensure its reliability. Personally, I think this all sounds pretty cool. Apple and Sony are still working to bring PSVR 2 controller support to the Apple Vision Pro later this year, even though I'm not sure what anyone is going to be able to do with them at launch, but hopefully the Apple Vision Pro actually gets some VR games, which would be pretty cool. But the real positive means that you'll be able to finally buy PSVR 2 Sense controllers separately. It's crazy to think when someone breaks their controllers right now, potentially they'll either have to contact Sony support or they have to buy a whole new headset. So that's 2 good things coming out of one good thing. If you didn't think the original Oculus Quest was dead already, it definitely is now, because Meta have finally ended support for the Oculus Quest 1, and developers will no longer be able to support the headset going forward. Let me know down in the comments if any of you are still using the OG standalone, because I know some people are, especially for PCVR. That OLED display and the blacks it gave us are still something I miss today, and I really hope, along with eye tracking, we get an OLED display for MetaQuest 4. The extremely superb Quest Optimizer app has now over 100,000 users, and for good reason. Now, I personally use it every time I record a video and to improve my games. The difference this software makes to games, especially games like Contractors for example, is pretty astounding, and I made a video a while back on how to get the Quest version looking extremely close to PC using this bit of software, and I'll leave that video in this video description. Now here's a breaking bit of news. Guess what? PCVR isn't dead. That's right, in January there was a 28% increase in Steam VR users thanks to the sales of MetaQuest 3 and Quest 3S, which is absolutely awesome. Now, I've been using virtual desktop with my MetaQuest 3 recently, and it's glorious to have a virtual reality gaming room and being able to play all my games from my Steam VR library and Oculus desktop, and it will also auto-switch the runtime for you, giving you the best VR experience. If you haven't tried virtual desktop, I'll put an affiliate link in this video so you can save 10% if you want to pick that bit of software up, and I highly recommend it. Dig VR is coming to PSVR 2 and Steam VR next month, which may or may not interest some of you, but the focus of this game is to bring real-life diggers into virtual reality. It's being developed by the same team who made Sniper Elite VR, and obviously it's similar to games like Power Washing and Lawnmower Simulator. Now personally, I have no real-life interest in doing these things, but for some reason, if you turn them into a game, especially a VR game, I'm compelled to try them. And this is especially true of the newest game that was announced, Farming Simulator. Now, I haven't played Dig VR yet, but if you have, let me know down in this video's comments what you think of it. Now, that's all I've got for you today. Check out these other 2 awesome videos I've left for you, and remember to leave a like and subscribe for more VR content.